the quirkier side of life. The Todd Starnes Commentary.
For as long as anyone can remember, teachers at Brooklet Elementary School posted Christmas cards outside their classrooms. But on Monday, that long-standing tradition came to an end. Boys and girls showed up for class and discovered the cards had been confiscated. Rob Kicklighter's wife is a third-grade teacher at the Georgia school. Her card was among those taken down. He tells me the cards were removed because they had words like Merry Christmas, and others had pictures of nativity scenes. Mr. Kicklighter says it's sad because the kids looked forward to seeing those homemade Christmas cards. The censorship comes as Bullock County's Board of Education cracks down on religious expression. Teachers have been ordered to remove any Christian items in their classrooms, from Bibles to music. I wonder what the school would do with a Happy Ramadan card. I'm Todd Starnes.
Welcome back. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth proudly on. Say it with me now. AFR Talk. Chime in on the show. Facebook page. Love the stories related to fast food and your memorable experiences there. And if you just joined us, we've been talking about feelings trump facts, what that means for the argument that one holds to advance an agenda based on feelings because the facts, the record will not back it up. Why we have Obamacare, the reasons still being cited, which President Obama laid out today. President Obama not telling the truth and going beyond his constitutional powers, and President Obama not telling the truth and defenders of that. And that was the question. And I'm going to go right to the phones. 1-888-589-8840. What was the most memorable lie you've told or you have been told? Also, is it all right for a president to lie if you agree with the policy? As many are suggesting, he did it for the right reasons, and this is going to be good for us. Let's go to Donna in North Carolina. Donna, welcome.
Hi, thank you for your show.
Thank
you so much. Okay, Greg, I'm not very politically educated on a whole lot of what Obama is doing. Okay, I'm really not, but as I see everything that's going on, and I live in North Carolina, and the things, that I were told concerning, like the medical, Medicare, whether you are eligible, whether you are not eligible, or just a lot of information, that I have been told is very confusing to me. It is very confusing to me. And a lot that I see that is going on is very confusing to me. And I hear a lot of you guys talking all day long about stand up if you think that something is not right. Mm-hmm. Okay, but when you reach out and you're trying to stand up because you see things going on around you that you are not comfortable with and that you do question, well, if you don't have a lot of money and you aren't somebody, who sits in a good position on the board, or, have some kind of, nice big title behind your name, then nobody's going to listen to you. They're going to make you out as some basket case who doesn't know what they're talking about. And as I see everything that's going on right now, there's a whole lot of people that's promoting things because of a personal agenda, and I think it's wrong.
Okay, now what? Now, in relation to this, what do you think it's all right for a president to lie, if you agree with the policy?
I'm sorry. Could you speak up, please? It's very hard for me to hear you.
Is it all right for a president to lie?
No, it is not.
Okay.
So, and that is what is upsetting me. How come it is that certain people, they can, someone made a comment that's like the bully of the playground telling everybody just get along, but he's the bully?
Yes.
So, okay, same principle, somewhat different scenario. Okay, how can all of these representatives, how can they just do things, because of who they are, the money that they have, or who backs them, and we have to be afraid to speak out. The best thing is keep your mouth shut and don't say anything, and then you won't have any problems. But the moment you try to speak out and say something, you'll be careful.
People, okay, well, that goes to the issue of abuse of power.
Exactly.
It also goes, and by the way, you seem very well educated on the politics, and you understand it fundamentally about character assassination and demonization and attracting people to your point of view. And if you do that, the people in power will use that power to silence you in some way through an audit or something along those lines, and there's a fear in that, or your information will be released on the internet, and you'll have people at your home protesting you or vilifying you. And we see this even with the idea of standing up for marriage between a man and a woman. I mean, there's so many different areas I could speak to, but Donna, I would just say this, that the consequence of not speaking up are going to be policies that are going to limit your freedom, limit the next generation's freedom through intergenerational theft, and will fundamentally change the foundation of this country, which has already been transformed through President Obama to a statist world where we push God out. And I know that's a lot. I know that's a statement, and you say, what do you mean specifically? And we could break it down. But I would say that when you are speaking out, if you do it respectfully, if you talk to your friends, you start organizing. What happens is when somebody has influence, yes, they have money, but that is not always the case of a single person having a lot of dough and throwing it at the problem. It's people who support their agenda because they've won the hearts and minds of those people. And that talks about the arena of ideas and getting involved. My only suggestion would be to say, yes, you're right. People in power will abuse that power, and there are costs to speaking out. But bottom line, if you don't, the costs are far greater. And that's what I can offer you today. And you can become a part of things. I know that we do a lot here, AFR, AFA, with looking at businesses that operate and give money to certain practices that we oppose, a whole host of things. But nonetheless, I appreciate your phone call. Thank you, Donna. And again, the costs of not speaking out are far greater than the costs of speaking out, in my estimation. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And we go to David in Ohio, 1-888-589-8840, 1-888-589-8840. David, most memorable lie, and is it all right for a president to lie if you agree with the policy that's being advanced? David,
hi,
how are you?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you again for taking my call. And
Yes, sir.
I think it goes to show what level people like the guy that you play in the soundbite has come down to in order to make it seem acceptable. What he's saying doesn't even make any sense, because how do you know that a president has your best interest in mind when you know for a fact and you acknowledge that he is a liar? He could be saying that he cares for the country, but how do you know whether that's the truth or is the lie? So no, a president or anybody in leadership should never be okay to lie.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And to
well
the other
said.
question that you had,
Yes, most
also,
memorable.
the most memorable lies,
Yes.
I think, I don't know, out of all of them, because there's quite a bit to choose from, I think out of all of them, it would be two. One, that he was going to turn the country around for good, and two, that this administration was going to be the most transparent administration ever.
Well said. Appreciate the phone call, David out of Ohio. Now, to lie, to knowingly mislead someone is going to transform it. Arguably, the first part could be the idea of transforming it for the good. Some people would say this is good because we got a lot of socialists and statists in this country, people that believe in a statist government. The other one is transparent, is laughable on its face, and we have good friends like Chris Horner, who's written the books of Power Grab, among others, detailing that. Chris Horner, check him out, by the way, if you're interested in more of that. I was speaking also to the more personal level, most memorable lie you have been told, not necessarily the president. So you don't make it about the president only, but just the most memorable lie in your life that you've been told and why. and a president lying to advance an agenda. There's a part to this that deals with winning the hearts and minds and having enduring policy. But I digress. Let's go to Linda in the great state of Mississippi. Linda, thanks so much for your patience. Welcome. We're speaking about lies, specifically most memorable lie, and is it all right for the president to lie if you support the policy that he or she, future possibly, would be advancing? Linda?
I appreciate your show.
Thank you.
First of all, I don't ever know if I'm being lied to or not by friends and family, because we do joke and laugh a lot. I can remember the most memorable lie I ever told, because it got me a spanking.
All righty.
But anyway, no, my stepfather had warned us against climbing on the mimosa tree limb, and I did, and it broke, and it stripped the bark off of the tree. And when he asked us how it happened, I said, I don't know. And, well, you know what happened next. But anyway, and as far as the president lying, I have to ask this question. Is it ever okay for a Christian to lie?
Interesting. And then we go to, I heard this debated by some extraordinary intellects. I believe Alan Keyes was one of them, but I'm not sure. Alan Dershowitz, I believe, was definitely a part of the debate. And watch on C-SPAN, Nerd Alert. You know me, Linda, if you listen to the show, you know I used to watch C-SPAN a lot because I just thought it was very interesting. And people would say boring. Nonetheless, what if the Nazis were outside your home and they said, do you have any Jews living with you? Would it be all right to lie, to knowingly mislead the lie? And I understand that. And I would say as a Christian, yeah, I can justify that and rationalize it in some way. Now, I don't have the scripture to back that up. And obviously that we've got people like Bert Harper, Pastor Bert, and Dr. Alec McFarland, and people are very well versed in the word, so I can't speak to that, but I understand that on the fact of the greater good. Now, when it comes to our faith and belief in Jesus Christ, is Jesus Christ our Savior, are we allowed to lie about that? No, absolutely not. So that's another part. When it comes to advancing an agenda, I was thinking about this, and here's where it really hit home, Linda. I was thinking about the fact that what if the policy was an amendment to the Constitution that protected life? And Linda, that's what got me. I thought, well, I absolutely support that. You're protecting life. Life is a life is a life, and being pro-life across the board there, yeah, I understand it. But would it be all right for a president to lie and advance that agenda? And I would say no. I wouldn't be supportive of that president for the fact that that law will not endure. You haven't changed the hearts and minds. You haven't won in the arena of ideas. You haven't made the case where you will have people supporting that law. Now, you can do it state by state, and I believe the hearts and minds will be won in this great debate of life. But nonetheless, I hope I answered your question, Linda. And thank you.
Thank you.
You take care. Let's keep going. Let's go to let's go to Rick, who's been very patient in the great state of Texas. Hello, Rick.
How are you doing, Crane?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I thought about your question, and one of the biggest lies that we've all been told is that we can save ourselves. And I'm talking about our eternal lives.
Yeah.
And that's something that you hear every day, you know.
That we're, in fact, the power.
Right.
We are, and that it's about works. And yeah,
exactly.
That is, and wow, that's just, it's so self-defeating, so destructive when you remove grace and His grace and what God has done for us. But wow, that's just a great point. I had to chime in. Didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
But on the note on the president, I mean, that it's so ignorant to think that you would want to be lied to even justify that what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to make your own decisions, or do you want somebody else to make your decisions for you? And do you want everything to be decided for you? If you want to live in a world where everything's decided for you and you have no freedom because you have no rights or no liberty, that's perfectly fine. But you're also accepting, okay, his lie is for my own good, and is it really? Like the other caller said, you can't. It's a slope that you start going down, and you really can't find the bottom of it.
Well put. Hey, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Want to go to Marcy? Get Marcy in. Marcy in Arkansas. Memorable lie, and is it all right for the president to lie? Marcy.
Well, most memorable lie I probably don't even want to comment on because I've been lied to plenty in the past. But as far as the president goes, I don't think any president, honestly, should lie to people knowingly. If it was an accident, if he slipped up, then he should have taken it back a long time ago. It should have been the first thing that he did the moment he found out that he was lying to everybody. And that's just my personal opinion.
Well, I appreciate your personal opinion. Thanks, Marcy. You take care. All right. Yeah, what about you, Crane? Well, I only can think of one lie that really stands out, and it was when I was 12, and my tennis coach, I had done something to hurt the tennis court, put it that way. It was not good, and he asked me directly, did you do this? And it was my best friend and I, and we had done this. We had ridden our bikes on the tennis court, and long story short, I said no. And he turned to me, because I wanted to make everything all right. I said, hey, let's get training and all that. And he said, you lied to me. You lied to me. I'll never forget how I felt during that. Through the grace of God. And I apologized. And, well, I'm sure I've lied before since then. Pardon me. Not proud of that either. Crane Durham's Nothing But Truth. AFR